Hey guys, Michael with Dream Achiever. We are live at 5, coming back at you with another great tip today. Yep, and the baby came in to give you a tip too, and we are rocking with this. We don't stop, and this may be an inspiration for all of you. So if you're going live, if you're doing something, just don't stop. You got to push through, and it helps you get better to think on your feet, think a little faster, and get going. But anyway, back to our topic. Today we're going to talk about how to create a killer DMO. That's Dog Mary Oscar. Daily method of operation in your business. How to create a killer DMO in your business. And if you've watched some of my other videos, you got some of these tips before, but we're going to run through them again anyway because they're important and they're awesome. So let's keep doing it. And my camera wants to fall over today. I apologize for that. I'm going to make this thing stick. I'm getting the technology test today of whether that is going to work. I think my video is a little bit crooked right now even. Okay, back to it. If you're watching this live, you're getting the fun with me. Just type live in the chat. If you're watching this on replay, hashtag replay, drop that in. You can skip through the first part there where we had a little bit of fun. So anyway, how to create a killer DMO in your business. Number 1, goals. What do you want to achieve? If you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. Pretty simple, right? That's why you have a map. You have a starting point and a destination. What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? What is it? So normally people have a goal of an income goal. Usually it's an income goal, typically. So let's say I want to make, or you want to make $100,000 in your business, whatever that business is. What does it take to make $100,000 in your business? Normally it's going to take a certain number of sales in most industries, or even if you have a lawn care business. How many lawns are you going to need to cut? You got to sell people on your services, right? You got to sell them that they need to hire you versus someone else to cut their lawn on a weekly or monthly basis, whatever your contractual agreement is. But anyway, it's going to take a certain number of sales to get to $100,000 this year. We'll just use 1 year as a time frame as a reference point. So what do you want? Normally it's, as I said, a dollar figure. Let's say it's 100 grand. So then we know what that is, right? It's got to be specific, achievable, and have a time reference to it. We talked about this before as well. So once you know what you want, then we go to number 2. Work backwards to know what you need to do daily. So let's say we sell a product and that product is $10, right? I make $10 on a product. I'm just using an example because the numbers are going to be crazy. So make $10 on a product and I want to make $100,000 this year. So pretty much that means you need to sell 10,000 products this year. That's going to be about 800 a month. Right? Rough numbers. Don't quote me on the math. Just the basics here. So $100,000 selling make a product that gains you $10. You need to sell 10,000 this year. You need to do 800 products a month. That's going to equate to 2,000 or 200 products a week. Depending on how many days out of the week you're going to use. Let's go with a 5-day work week. Most people in business work more than that. Maybe you work part-time on the weekends, right? So you work this in. You say, okay, well, my goal is 100,000. I need to sell 10,000 products. I need to do 800 products a month. And that means I need to do 200 products a week and 5 days a week. So that means I need to do 40 products a day. Okay, so how can I do 40 products a day? Somehow you figure that out, right? So 40 a day. And then the numbers get bigger from there. You can say, well, everyone I talk to is not going to buy. So what is your buying ratio, right? And so maybe you get 1 out of 10. So you need to talk to 400 people a day to get to your 40, to get to your 200 for the week, 800 for the month, 10,000 for the year to get you your $100,000. So you've got to backtrack into a lot so you know what it's going to take on a daily basis. And what's really helpful, and this goes into number 3, which is add the activities to your calendar so you can execute. What's helpful for a lot of folks, and I have one so I'll show you, it's a planner that helps you track these things. You can use a regular calendar, right? I have I didn't open it up to that page, but like the month at a glance, right? So you've got just a regular month, looks like any other calendar, and I pencil stuff in on those days, right? So I know what I need to do. So like these live videos that I'm doing, there's one mark there for every day for 30 days. So I promised I would do 30 days of live videos. So they're marked by day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is number 16, right? Or something like that. But it's on my calendar, what day I'm going to be on, so I can help track my progress. You can do the same thing with your numbers to know how close you are on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Hey, Tina and Scott, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you guys. And so once you know what it's going to take on a daily basis, you can track it. And then I've got in my calendar here, you can see that I just opened up to a random page. You've got your social media, if you're doing social media. You've got your personal development, your growth module here if you're doing some growth, business development even, how to get better at sales if you're not too good, or to just continue getting good. Then how many reach outs you have today, how many clients did you contact today, and how many follow-ups did you do? Because not everyone that you talk to today is going to be available today. Maybe they want to talk to you tomorrow. So you can track all these numbers in your stats, and it's good to have those numbers together to help figure out how that's going to work for you in a sales type of environment. And pretty much in any business, each client has a potential sale value that you bring. So you figure out what your goal is, backtrack into those numbers, what's that client value to you, then how many of those clients do you need to be able to track that numbers. It's a little bit different and you're in some type of a team building environment where you're building a leveraged income, be it real estate or insurance or a network marketing type of model where you're building a team structure. And you say, I want to make $100,000, but I'm going to do this through recruiting. It's a little bit different type of structure where you can't really plan on what that's going to take, but you can figure out the numbers. For example, let's say your goal is still $100,000, and if you recruit someone, that's worth $10. Let's stay with the $10, right? And then if they recruit people, maybe you get an override on top of that, or some incentive financially for what they do. So let's say if that person recruits 3 people, you get $10 a piece. So you recruit 1, you get 10. They recruit 3, you get 30. So now you've got 40 off of 1 person, right? So then you can back into the numbers that way. If you say, well, if I help X number of people recruit 3 other people to build our team structure, what's the total dollar value of that? And then what do I need to do on a monthly basis to get to that $100,000 goal, right? So it's a very similar concept. You just have to figure out that dollar value that you're going to commit to. And obviously, if you're in a recruiting type of environment, not everyone is going to perform the same. Some people you will recruit and they will do nothing. Some people you will recruit and they will be rock stars and then disappear, right? Some people you recruit and they'll be steady eddies. You can count on them for a certain number of volume on a monthly basis that you can add to your total. So it's a little more complex if you're based solely on the recruiting to get to an income goal. But what I found, and I think what most other people have found, is if you know at a certain level in your company, if you're in one of these, team building models, that at a certain level, there's a pretty consistent income for that level. So let's say you've got gold, I don't know what to do. Pewter, no one has pewter, right? So maybe say silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. And you know that at the gold level, you know that most people are making $100,000. So you say, okay, well, I need to get to that gold level because the average income is about $100,000 and up, right? It's pretty, the baseline there is $100,000. So if I can get to that gold level in the next 12 months, then I'll hit that $100,000 goal inherently by hitting that rank. So people say if you focus on the rank, the income is a byproduct. You'll get the income as a result of that. So you just need to figure out what does it take to get to that level that has the baseline of $100,000 if that's your goal, and then what's your target for that. If you want to keep it 1 year, 2, 3, 5 years, depending on how big your goal is, it's the same process of backtracking. So in any type of team building model, you've got a structure that will, once you build out a certain structure, have a certain volume from your structure, it's going to equate to that rank level that equates to that income amount. So you just need to map it out. Okay, what does that structure need to look like? How many people am I going to need to recruit personally? How many people are my team going to need to recruit? Or how many rank advancements am I going to need in my team? How much of that can I personally affect? Because some of that, let's say if you have multiple levels, you may recruit someone, they recruit someone, they recruit someone, and at some point it's just away from you. You just don't have enough capacity time-wise to touch all of those people. You can't be responsible, which is what you really want in a team-building, leveraged income model. You don't want to be personally responsible for everything that happens. You want to have it grow away from you. You want to develop those leaders to grow away from you. That's a side note, got off track there. But anyway, that's the truth. So just figure out what that structure looks like, how many people you need to fill in boxes. A lot of people draw it out. What's the structure look like? And then you know how many names you need to fill in. And you need X number of names for you, X number of recruits for you. So what's it take? How many contacts do you need to recruit one person? And then how many of those people need to recruit and how many of those people need to recruit? And then you can help them hit their numbers because inherently that all benefits you as well. And as I've said before, those people are going to be happy when they make a sale because they get paid a great commission, and that's what they're here for. But because you're helping them, you can receive some override on top of that as well. And that's a perfectly fair model. And that's why a lot of businesses that have a team building model, everybody's happy because the person that's helping is getting incentivized financially to help. The person that's actually making the transaction is getting the largest commission on it because they're doing the most of the work. It's their contacts, their efforts, but the helper gets paid too. So some people get skewed on those ideas, but that's exactly how it should work. The person that's making the sale gets the most money, and the person that helps them gets a little bit for helping. Fair. Anyway, you can figure out the structure, back into those numbers the same way we talked about with the individual sales. How many of those you need, how many contacts do you need to make on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis to get to those recruits, to help them get to their recruits. And it may be easier to figure on a monthly basis for you to have a certain number of recruits per month so that you have time to help those people get their recruits so you catapult into the next month. And hopefully that will help you create some momentum where you get some, you get them going. The next month you get some and get them going. The next month you get some and get them going. So that this continues. It's a compound income effect is what I would call it, where you don't stop. You keep going with your personal goal, but those people that you're bringing on, you help them with their personal goal, which helps you with your bigger goal, right? So everyone gets more each month, and everyone grows each month, and it continues to compound to help you catapult into your goal. So anyway, this is pretty quick today, and I think if you guys saw my video yesterday, they're talking about lighting. I'm using my ring light today because it's pretty dark outside. If you guys are wondering, background's a little different, but using different lighting. We'll make sure you see my face, smiling, right? So anyways, these are how to create a killer DMO for your business. Number 1, know your goal. Map it out. Number 2, work backwards into that goal. Know what you're going to need on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis, not just on sales or on recruiting, but what the activity required will be to hit those numbers, because it's definitely not the same thing, and there's a multiple of contacts versus actual sales or recruits, and a follow-up process as well. And then number 3, work those activities into your calendar. And if you don't have a planner, like I showed you, you can easily just use a regular calendar. And if you know that your number is 5 today, you can put 5 tick marks in your calendar for today. And if you don't have 5 tick marks, you obviously didn't do the activity that was required to meet your goal. And as I've said before, on any one day, is that going to kill your goal? No, it's not. But if you let that become a habit of not hitting consistently your numbers, then it will kill your goal, because over time, missing the mark on a daily basis consistently will inherently prevent you from reaching your goal. So you just want to make sure that you have that visual. It helps a lot of people to be visual on it. 5 tick marks is easy if 5 is your number for a day, and then you can look every day, did I get my numbers or not? Each week, did I get my numbers or not? And you have time to make up. Maybe you need to put in a Saturday. Maybe you need to put in a couple hours on a Sunday to make up those numbers if that's what you need to do, if that's your commitment level. So Scott, thank you so much for the comments there. I try to provide value every time. If you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching this live and you got value, just type value in the chat. I appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up, share some love, depending on which platform you're watching this on. Appreciate you guys. My name is Michael with Dream Achiever. I want to see you succeed, and I'm going to keep adding value, and hopefully you'll find something that helps you build a business and achieve your goal. So thank you all so much, and I'll catch you next time.